Okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear viewers. My name is Swapna. I am working as Assistant Professor in St. Joseph's Degree and PG College since the year 2015. I just wanted to share the concept of green human resource management. Okay, so before proceeding to green human resource management, as you all know, what is human resource management all about, right? You all know that human resource management is the most important department in every organization, because it is the only department that takes care of every employee who is working in the organization. So green human resource management is something which is a trending topic right now, and in almost every organization this concept of green human resource management is being implemented. So the concept of green human resource management, you can basically see it in the form of HR practices that are implemented in every organization, and also HR policies. And these green human resource policies and practices that will help in order to promote environment sustainability, as well as the preservation of knowledge and preservation of capital in every organization. So the main basic motto of implementing green human resource practices is for environment sustainability. So let us see what is all about green human resource practices which are followed in every organization. When it comes to human resource practices, generally you can find different human resource practices in every organization. For example, we have right from recruiting the employees, selecting the employees, training the employees in every organization, providing compensation to employees in the organization, evaluating the performance of employees in the organization. So all these are nothing but basically the general human resource practices which you see in every organization. Now when it comes to green human resource practices, you might be getting a thought in your mind. What is this green human resource practice all about? How the general HR practices are related to green human resource practices, how it can be converted exactly. Like, let's take an example. The first example will be all about the important green human resource practice, that is recruitment and selection process. In most of the organizations, they are trying to opt nowadays for paperless work. Whatever it might be, it can either be recruiting the employees or selecting the employees. Even for example, the interview process that is conducted in the organizations, that is completely online nowadays. It is nothing but preservation of energy, power takes place, thereby which tries to save and protect the natural resources also, that is very important. And when it comes to selection process also, online interviews, along with online interviews, whatever is the formats, policies which are required, the policies which are to be framed in order to select a candidate, joining formalities. When a candidate is joining in every organization, there are certain joining formalities which have to be completed by the HR department personnel. So these joining formalities are also nowadays, they are trying to implement it in the form of paperless work. So this is one of the important trending topic you can see, and you can take the examples of many companies in India itself. For example, we have Idea Cellular, right? We have Idea Cellular, which is completely trying to offer paperless work. They are trying to follow and they are trying to implement green HR practices in the HR department also, and they are completely going for paperless work in order to make sure the work that is performed by HR department will try to safeguard and protect the environment also. And another example for this green human resource practices can also be taken as Wipro. Wipro company, it has green certification for their buildings, the workplace, right, of Wipro company, it is completely green certifications they have it. So that can also be taken as an example how companies and how society, how each and every institution is working hard, they are striving hard in order to safeguard the resources that are available. And they are also opting for all the different types of green HRM practices. Let us take one more example of ITC company, right? The ITC company, usually when they are manufacturing the products, they just make sure the packaging material what is used in order to manufacture the product, in order to package the product, the material what they are using, they just make sure that the material is manufactured in such a way that when customers are disposing the packaging material, that doesn't cause any harm to the environment, that doesn't cause any harm to the resources. That is nothing but these are some of the various companies that are following green human resource practices in every organization. Now, when it comes to the compensation that is provided to employees, as you all know that completely online payments, the kind of transformation which we have seen in the banking sector also, even for example the checks which are deposited in the banks, right, when the checks are deposited in the banks, that is completely online nowadays. At one click everything gets transferred. That is nothing but they are trying to reduce the paperless work. So what is the need for green human resource management here? So this usually tries to reduce the ecological disasters that are going to take place in the environment, and it also tries to safeguard, it also tries to concentrate on the social and environmental factors in order to protect and safeguard the environment. And it is not simply that only one person or one company or an individual have to monitor this particular green human resource practice. It is a team effort, it is a joint effort which has to be taken by each and every individual that helps the society to make sure green HRM practices are followed in each and every organization across the globe. And employee satisfaction, employee commitment is also more important, because it is actually the employees who are working in the organization, and it is their responsibility also to know the reason why they have to safeguard the environment, why they have to protect the natural resources. Like as we have discussed, different green HRM practices are there in the organization. Like for example, let us start with green recruitment, and then we also have green performance management, green training and development. Each and every HR activity, they are trying to relate it with the green practices, and even the compensation, green compensation that is provided, that is completely online. And another different various green initiatives that are taken up by the society, that are taken up by the HR department, includes green building certifications and paperless work completely in the organization, and conservation of energy, and also recycling of waste. So let us have a look at what is green recruitment all about. See, basically green recruitment is nothing but whatever the work is done by the human resource department people in every organization, completely paperless work. It is nothing but all about the online work. So here when I say online, they try to use different tools and technologies like email, online application forms, right, generation of application forms online. The way they try to pool the database, they try to store the database in the form of files in the computer systems, and even the concept of cloud computing has also come into existence, right. So here they try to save and store the data. That is all about the concept of green recruitment. Next important initiative is green performance management. Now, what is performance management basically? It is all about how employees are performing in the organization. Are they performing really well or not? So, instead of trying to follow the completely work that is done by HR department people, they can completely go for online, complete online. Whatever is the work that is done by the employees here, that will be monitored, that will be evaluated online, and then feedback will also be given to the employees online only. Say for example, a company which is situated in India, it has its various branch offices across foreign places also. The performance, what the work that is done by the employees, it can be transferred from one person, it can reach from one person to another person with the help of various technology and tools and email etiquettes also. So that is nothing but all about the green performance management. And next important initiative is green training and development. Green training and development, when the training is given to employees in the organization, it is responsibility of the management, it is also the responsibility of the trainers to make sure awareness information is provided to the employees about how they can protect the natural resources in the organization, how they can safeguard the environment here. It is also their responsibility to protect and safeguard the environment. So, proper training, proper information, they have to be educated about the importance of green initiatives. Next important human resource practice is all about green compensation. You can see how the organizations are completely transforming. Even green rewards, the incentives that are provided to employees, that is completely a kind of transformation what you are seeing in the society nowadays. Even the compensation that is provided to the employees, the awards, rewards that are provided to employees. Like for example, an employee, or in order to motivate the employees, or in order to make sure employees take that initiative to respond and to make sure they have certain a kind of feel of sense of responsibility, you can say, towards the society to safeguard the natural resources. Awards, rewards, recognition can be given, incentives can also be given to the employees, that it is their responsibility to protect the environment and safeguard the environment. In this way, employees can be motivated here by providing proper compensation also. And different green initiatives are being taken place in the society. Many companies, almost every company, like as what I have told you all in the introduction part, it is all about ITC company, right? Idea Cellular, Wipro, different, they are trying to follow different green initiatives like green building certifications. Most of the companies are opting for nowadays paperless work completely. The work which will be done by the employees or managers, it is completely online. And then safeguarding of energy, conservation of energy, like for example, whenever employees are not working in the organization, when they are not using systems, they have to simply shut down the systems, or they have to simply switch off, right? So, this way they can conserve, they can preserve the energy, and recycling of waste is also very much important here in order to protect and safeguard the resources. So, these are nothing but some of the important green initiatives which have been implemented by most of the organizations nowadays. And when it comes to the green building concepts also, most of the organizations, they are trying to opt for green building certification. The energy efficiency, like for example solar energy what they have, and then the renewable energy factors what they have, and water management is also very important aspect which also comes under the concept of green building concept. And the engineers who are there in every organization, in order to make sure the environment is protected, it is safeguarded, they just make sure they have proper power storage, energy preservation systems also. So, this is all about the concept of green building. Now, when it comes to paperless office, every work that is done by employees here, that is completely paperless. Whatever the work is done by employees, they try to simply transfer the work from one person to another person in the form of files using email, fax, or etc. etc. There are n number of technology related tools that have been coming up. This is something which is related to the innovation and creativity in the technology that is leading us to paperless office work also completely. Another important initiative is conservation of energy. Like for example, when I say about conservation of energy, when the PC or tube lights or TVs or whatever it is, it can be electricity consumption also, and renewable energy. They just have to make sure that when it is not in use, the power has to be in off mode. That is very important here in terms of conservation of energy. And then recycling the waste also. Recycling the waste is nothing but the products that are not useful, that can be recycled again, and that can be made into new product also in order to safeguard the resources here. This is very important in order to protect and safeguard the natural resources also. And then what do you think is some of the important advantages of green human resource management? You might be thinking, why this green human resource management is a trending topic? Why? What can be some of the important merits or advantages? This usually promotes healthy, work environment in every organizations, and it is of low cost also when the green initiatives are being implemented, and proper ecological balance takes place here in the environment. And when it comes to paperless work also, flexibility will be there. See, when I use this term flexibility, it is nothing but a person who is at his home, who is at his residence, he can also complete the work staying at his home, and then he can simply transfer that particular file to a manager who is at his workplace also. So this is nothing but a kind of flexibility which the HR department or organizations are also following. And different types of benefits are there here in the organization, where employees will be motivated by providing them incentives and proper compensation package also in order to encourage them. And there are few disadvantages of green human resource management practices, which if every person in the organization, if this can be taken by every person as a responsibility, as a human responsibility, then obviously we can also overcome these demerits or disadvantages also. In order to in order to recycle the waste also, it is an expensive process for every organization. Like for example, multinational organizations or large scale organizations can afford for it. But just think about the small scale organizations which are only able to provide proper remuneration to their employees on time, and which are able to gain minimum level of profits. For these organizations, it can be a disadvantage also, and implementing these green human resource practices is somewhat costlier also. And finally, we can conclude here that it is all in the initial stages that these green HRM practices are being implemented nowadays, but slowly and steadily there are a lot of improvements that are being taking place in every organization. People are trying to understand slowly the importance of green practices. So it is all about the way you think, and then we need to go green, and also think green is also very important. Thank you.